Hey guys, today we're going to repot my Phalaenopsis equestris cerulean. This is going to be the first repot of the year, and this has finished blooming already, and in the spring a lot of Phalaenopsis are done blooming and they start pushing out new roots. So it's a good time to repot. This one has some roots that grew outside of the pot, and I've had this in this pot for almost 2 years, so we're going to get it out of here. It's in bark and moss tends to break down more quickly. So I want to freshen this up. I'll probably use the same pot, but we'll get started. We have a visitor. So in terms of materials, I have bark and I have moss. And if you live in a very humid environment or you grow outdoors, I advise against this. But if you grow indoors and you have pretty dry conditions, moss tends to work well. I like to make it nice and fluffy, so I'll show you how I go about it. If you live in a very humid environment, bark will be your best friend. You want to have good aeration in the roots, and with fluffy moss you can get that done. And if you live indoors and it's very dry, this is great. I think it works very well in my environment here in New York City. If you live in like Florida, if you live in the Caribbean, bark will be a better choice. But what I did was I watered this thoroughly, avoiding the crown, and now we're gonna get this out of the pot. I guess we'll have a visitor behind us this entire time, but we're gonna take this pot, gonna remove the saucer, and then get the media off. So I'm gonna just gently tug it out of this pot. And then we're gonna inspect the root system, which looks quite good. So yeah, this looks pretty good. So we're gonna gently remove the moss in here. Slowly. Let me remove the pot. We're gonna gently get rid of this moss. I topped it with bark because if you don't top it with bark, oftentimes there will be some algae that forms on the top of the moss. That's a trick that I got from Miss Orchid Girl years ago, and I kind of kept it because I think it's a great method. It just looks better. Look at these roots. All right, we're gonna keep getting this off. You could tell that a root is healthy if it looks something like this. They could be white or green or silver, but they're firm. A dead root looks something like this, papery thin, no substance. These we're gonna cut off later. But first we get the material off, the old material. And it's normal to have some dead roots. You don't wanna overwater these because then orchid roots need lots of air. So that's why I keep the moss fluffy. And this is why I don't recommend moss if you're in a very humid environment. It just makes it too damp in there. But it also depends on how often you water. Like if you use bark and it's coarse, you have to water more often. I water not that often, maybe once a week with some of my phals. And the larger the pot, the longer it takes to dry. The smaller the pot, the faster. So a lot of the mini phals, they have to get watered twice a week. This one just once a week, and it's not a big phal. We'll continue to get this off. Can't believe this cat is just relaxing here right behind. She's something. Okay. Now that we have the majority of the materials off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rinse all of these roots. In the sink, I'm just gonna run water through it to get anything extra off. And then we're gonna get rid of all of that old media. Again, it doesn't look bad, but moss tends to break down over time, so after about a year, 2 years, if it's very high quality moss, I like to repot it. And then we're gonna get this in a new pot. I'm actually gonna use the same pot since the root system isn't that big, but if your root system grew a lot, you wanna go up a pot size. You don't wanna go too big, maybe just an inch bigger than the last pot, because you don't want the roots swimming in lots of media, because then it'll take much longer to dry. Ideally, you want a pot that will accommodate the roots, and that pot will accommodate these wonderfully. So let me rinse this off and we'll trim the roots. All right, I've rinsed these roots and got the media off, and now we're gonna inspect these roots. Whenever you see something like this is a good time to repot because this is a new root tip and it'll adapt to your new pot very quickly. We're gonna get rid of anything that's dead. Any pieces of bark like this that are stuck are okay. If you remove them, it's all right, but it could wound the root. Zoe, what are you doing? This cat. All right, we're gonna look for these dead roots. As I said, they look something like this. They're like papery thin. We're gonna cut them off. You're not going into that pot, Zoe. She is something. All right, we're gonna cut this right off, right here. There's not that many. Like, some of these roots don't look the best, but they're alive. They've been on this orchid for a while. Like this one here is alive and it's like a red color, but we're gonna leave that because it's firm, it's alive. Some of them are white and they're okay. Honestly, not that many dead roots. This one was an aerial root. I'm gonna try to tuck it in. It might die off because aerial roots usually tend to wanna stay aerial, but I kinda wanna tuck this in because it was growing so long. Here's another brand new root. Let's see. There's not many dead roots on this. Again, it doesn't look like much here, but this orchid is in good shape. Like, this doesn't look like a lot, but this is alive. And this is alive as well. And sometimes these orchids also branch out. Let's see. Yeah, last time I repotted it, about 1.5 to 2 years ago, I had to remove a lot of roots from here. So we don't have much. Like, that media, I mean, these roots, this is where I removed the roots from, and this is part of the crown. I find that sometimes the crown, the bottom of it crumbles off a little bit, so then I kind of like take it off. Anything that's like, you know, rotting, I just remove. Sometimes you could just remove it with your fingers. But most of the roots from last time came from this area. Okay, that's out. Yeah, I really don't have much here. We just had that one dead root. We have one here. This one came off on its own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put moss in the middle. We're gonna put the media in and we're gonna get it ready to put it back in the original pot. So I'm gonna take a little bit of sphagnum moss. We're gonna keep it nice and fluffy. I'm gonna put it in the middle there, since this is a pretty big root system, and then I'm gonna wrap the roots around the sphagnum moss. This was an aerial root, but I'm gonna tuck it inside. Oh, you could hear so much outside today. It is a beautiful spring day here in New York City. So you can hear everything. The windows are open and yeah, it's gonna be a little loud today. Let's see, we're gonna put a little bit more in the middle. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're putting it back in this pot, which is about the size of the root ball. And that's ideal because this will dry out pretty quickly. So we've wrapped the roots, and then we're gonna take a little moss, put it inside, put it at the bottom there. I didn't bother washing this pot because we're using the same orchid. And then we're gonna put the root system right in here. We're gonna tuck it right inside. Little by little, gently. You don't want to break any of these roots. Oh, and we have a dead root right here. Anytime you see something like this, you can leave it on, but you want to cut and leave a little bit of dead root there to not introduce a new wound to the orchid. This is dry, papery, and thin. And this here is actually alive because it's firm. So we're going to tuck this in. And I like pots like this because, again, they dry a lot faster. Some people will prefer to put it in a bigger pot. It's personal preference, but it's less likely to rot if you're using something a lot more moisture retentive. If you have more roots in the pot, of course you can go up an inch, but this is just accommodates those roots. And we actually do have room and plenty of air pockets in there. So it kind of works out well. You can see there's plenty of gaps in there. A lot of people will prefer bigger pots. It's really personal preference, but if you do use a bigger pot, you have to be careful with watering. You don't want to water as often because it's going to hold more media and it'll take longer to dry. So this is the reason why I like smaller pots. And this does not push a ton of roots. This is probably going to be okay here for 2 years, and then I'll probably have a lot more roots. But the purpose of this is because I'm using a lot of moss in here. So this will promote faster drying and it will not rot. So we're going to fill this in with more moss, but there are plenty of gaps in there and there's space for these roots. So we're going to add more moss, fluffy, and add it in here. And this is just a more conservative way to repot. If you are potting it in a much bigger pot, remember, you don't want it swimming in media. And if you are, you would want to use more bark, in my opinion. But I like to keep things nice and fluffy. So we're gonna put more. There's lots of gaps in here. It may look like it's crowded, but there's plenty of gaps. I just find it does grow well. I've had this orchid for 6 years. It gives me beautiful blooms that last a very long time. This cat, she's something. Hey, she almost bit me. This cat is out of her mind. You really gonna bite me? You kidding me? She's biting me. Hey. This cat is out of her mind. I'm gonna lock her in a room while I'm repotting. She's so crazy. Okay, we're getting more moss in here. And I'm just filling in some of the gaps a little bit, keeping it fluffy. You never want to pot your orchids in anything like soil. It just holds too much moisture and the roots will rot. So that's why I use sphagnum moss. So I have it in this. And then I'm going to top it off with some bark. It just looks a little bit better that way. And this should be good in here for 2 years. Now this blooms once a year, I want to say, sometimes twice. It gives me double spikes and they last a really, really long time. It has these beautiful flowers. I really like this one. I've had it since 2020. I got it at Hauserman Orchids. It's such a pretty orchid. Let's top this off with bark. Just looks a little better and it prevents the moss from turning green. So I'd like to thank Miss Orchid Girl for that. I learned a lot when I started expanding my collection from Miss Orchid Girl. Okay, there we go. So this should be good. So this is now all set. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna water it, avoiding the crown, of course. This is the crown. You never wanna get water in this part or else it could rot the Phalaenopsis, but we're gonna water it, let it drain fully. Let all the water out, put it back on the saucer, and it is now good to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the first repot of the year. I'm gonna slowly start working on my cattleyas and other orchids, but this was nice and easy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.